Okay, so I'm going to write some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. Peers. Car, YouTube, Lucas Priata, Chaval, Argentina. Video about fight, respect, dad versus me, unwanted, nope, feel, respect, like I gave respect but don't feel it reciprocated. Then engineering jobs with accommodation. Keep. Then reached a point where all of my problems are social, can't solve real problems because the extent to which I wanna solve them is just social. Okay, so this is Pierce Car YouTube thing. Okay, what do I want to say about Pierce Car YouTube thing? Yeah, this is, I guess, an under problem of this. But it is that I don't feel peers with anyone, I guess. Well, not with anyone, but it's like I don't feel like I'm peers with anyone. Colleagues, etc. Right? Yeah, so I have friends. Example, car YouTube, blah blah blah. friend, for example, part of like F1 Twitter. Like F1 Twitter is not kind of under any delusions or whatever. Your peers are other F1 fans. Sometimes they know more or less, they know more, they know less, but in general it's among fans, right? It's among fans, not insiders. Then car YouTube. Yeah, it's like in general, these people, peers, are outside from YouTube, or in the case where they're from YouTube, they bring something else like cars or whatever, right? Fixes, I don't know, leave them in the comments. Visa says something like the admirer or whatever, right? Hello. let's say. Visa has these pieces which is like admire. Yeah, something like this. Work to earn the respect and admiration of the people you respect and admire, or something. It's like peer DOM is illegible, right? That's kind of the beauty of it. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to keep navigating aimlessly or whatever. Then analysis of my situation. Not enough. Not about cars, enough. So that people no numbers. Universal thing people care about, not there. Honesty, not enough. Comments. Small success. Not sustainable. And I don't want like the beauty of it was that it was not planned or architected, right? Hello, by the way. I am going to make a video. I am now making like writing the talking points or whatever. But writing. YouTube comments, Twitter, lol. Live streaming or something. I don't know. Maybe I should put live streaming here, but I'm talking about peer dom, by the way. Peers, all this, as the title says. Peers. Like I don't have friends and all this. I don't know. Well, bye. I don't know when there is people, when there are people or there aren't. Okay, first video. Let's go. I don't feel peerdom right now. So, what do I mean by peerdom? I wrote it here. Okay, fuck it. Let's do this. Then hashtag others. I don't feel peerdom right now. So, what do you mean by peerdom or whatever? And I basically mean colleagues, etc. Like colleagues, sorry. And that doesn't mean like that I don't have friends, right? I do have friends. So at least it's not that bad out here. But I miss, or not sure if miss or is the right word, but I don't feel this sense of colleagues, of sense of having colleagues or sense of having peers in what I do, right? Then I wrote some examples to see if I can explain myself better. So, one example is Car YouTube, for example. In Car YouTube, right, I put these 3 examples, right, of YouTubers. This is one YouTuber that makes videos or whatever, and I'm part of the Telegram channel that he has, right, paying money. That is not peerdom, right? Paying money to being on someone's channel or supporting one's channel is not being his peer. It's just, I don't know, you get to be a little bit closer, but it's not peerdom, right? Then Lucas Abrieta is an Argentinian car YouTuber, and he kind of worked with Doug DeMuro, right? So he actually is his peer, right? Obviously, the scales are different, and obviously the sense of admiration goes one way more than in the other, right? But it's still considerable peerdom, right? And then there is like one kid from Argentina, let's say. This guy, right? He has 2,000 subscribers, right? So he's not a huge legend or whatever the fuck. But I watched a couple of videos of his, and they are funny, they are good, or whatever, right? Nice. But he replied to a couple of he replied to this video, for example, or to comments that I've left on his videos, and his responses are like so fucking stupid, right? That I cannot take them seriously as that I can't take them seriously as someone who is like looking for peers or whatever, or that sees me as his peer, for example, even though at the smaller scale that we are, right? Even though we are at this small scale, my comments to his videos are not received in a valuable, like he doesn't value them, and he doesn't value my videos as like in a sense of peer, right? So I get this sense of like, so on Car YouTube, I have nothing to say there, right? I don't belong on Car YouTube in any way, right? And I wrote here, in general, these people's peers are from outside of YouTube. Okay, yes. This is also because for Guille Alfonsin, right? This guy, he's a car YouTuber. He makes videos about cars. He has a podcast. And the thing is that how does he source the cars that he makes videos about, right? Press cars or whatever, right? Outside YouTube. That's a world outside YouTube. How does he source clients' cars or whatever? That is kind of inside YouTube, right? So from people who watch him, they can send him videos, but they provide the car, right? So that's how they become peers. They become peers through the cars. And I don't have interest in cars myself, right? I have not cultivated myself in that way. Or they are from outside YouTube also by being his actual friends, right? He has friends from workshops or whatever, or from other types of job or something, and he brings them to the podcast, whatever the fuck, right? Those kind of things. But It's like I don't belong in any of those categories. Yet or currently. I don't know when, but I don't belong. That's the point of the video. Then the next thing that I thought about, F1 Twitter, right? I have a friend who is like active on Formula One Twitter, right? And I feel like that is a sense where you get a place where you get kind of some peerdom, at least, where you get some peers. Why? Because F1 Twitter is not like under any delusions or whatever, right? You are not under any kind of delusion of your peers being the fucking Lando Norris is not your bro, right? Carlos Sainz is not your fucking daddy or whatever, right? No, well, not your maybe it is actually your daddy because he's not like an actual figure you see day to day. So you can like joke about Carlos Sainz being daddy or like Alonso padreando, all that kind of things, right? You can do those things because they are not like actively looking, right? They get the messaging and they get the support or whatever, but they are not your peers and you know it, right? Your peers are other F1 fans, right? So you make friends with other people who are F1 fans. That's kind of the point, right? Sometimes they know more, sometimes they know less, right? My friend is an engineer, mechanical engineer, and he actually likes this shit, right? So he probably knows more than maybe some fucking rando, right? that watches the races, but maybe does not know about how cars actually work that well, right? And knows more about it, like from hearing it and repeatedly hearing it and all this, than from actually like understanding the scientific perspective or whatever. But they still kind of, you can, if you are the engineer, you can kind of explain a little bit, or if you are the other person, maybe you travel more and you see the actual thing live. I don't know. But it's like, in general, like there is this sense of peerdom because you are all peers with each other, because, yeah, you are all fans of the same thing, right? And you kind of all know that you are not insiders, right? You are not the F1 engineer in that team, because those people, I guess, can't say a lot of those things, right? I don't know. It's like, it's a healthy place to be, I guess, right? And there is a sense of peerdom. And I'm not in any kind of community like that, right? I guess I like Taylor Swift, right? But I'm not. I used to be way more active in the Taylor Swift forums or, well, Taylor Swift Discord and all that, but I'm not that active anymore, right? So, and I feel, and I stopped being active for some reason, right? For a reason, right? I don't feel connected to that sense of how the fandom turned out to be, right? And I wasn't putting all my thought into Taylor Swift and all this, right? Then the next thing I wanted to mention was like Teapot. I'm part of a community, you could say, right, on Twitter that calls itself Teapot or calls itself opposite of that or whatever the fuck, right? The point of that is that it's kind of illegible, right? Peerdom is more or less illegible, right? It's like, just by the fact that you know it, you can say that you are it, right? It's not kept in that way. But the problem with that and it being illegible or whatever is that if it's illegible, it doesn't exist, right? If it is not illegible, there is no actual sense of peerdom or whatever. It's like the actual peers there know each other in real life, probably, or I don't know, have some kind of one-to-one communication between each other. Those kind of things. Have one-to-one relationships, and I don't have a lot of those, right? Also, the problem with it being illegible or whatever is that, for example, this is a tweet that Visa posted. This instance is kind of a reply to this, what are some hacks that Paul Miller posted, right? And Visa posted this kind of seek excellent peers, aka work to earn the respect and admiration of people you respect and admire. Surround yourself with good people and they'll nudge you in all the right ways, right? So this is kind of seek peers. Seek excellent peers, right? And my point is that, okay, that's good advice, I guess, right? But Yeah, but it makes sense, right, in a context where you have work, right? He's a writer, so for him, like, he has this particularity of his work being able to be the fucking tweets that he posts, right? That is kind of his particularity. And his source of success, you could say, whatever, right? For some other people, right, there is also their tweets are also the thing, right? And there are some other people who bring other things to the table, maybe, right? Who community organizing is the thing that they can tweet about, and the tweet themselves are cool or whatever, but the power behind them is the community or whatever the fuck, right? There are other people who are like, I don't know, entrepreneurs. So the entrepreneur posting is kind of the thing that they post about, right? You get the vibe, right? And now we get to this part, right? To the analysis of my situation. Tying it to Visa's tweet, it's like, so what is my situation? And first I have YouTube, right? And on YouTube, I feel like I'm not enough in many ways, right? So it's like I'm not enough, not about cars enough, so people care, right? As I said before, it's like if I interact with car channels or whatever, they know that I'm not a peer because I don't make car videos or whatever the fuck, right? So they don't give a fuck, right? And I don't know. It's like I don't want this video to sound like I'm complaining because, well, I am complaining, but I don't want it to sound like it's like unfair that I am in this situation, right? No, I am complaining about the situation, but I understand it, right? I get why people who are into cars and see my channel don't give a fuck because it makes sense, right? It makes sense. But still, it is the situation, right? Then not enough numbers, right? My numbers are not big enough, right? So maybe if I was not a car channel, but I had huge numbers, people would give a shit, right? They would be like, oh, so numbers kind of turn you into this universal, it's like money, right? Money is the universal thing that everyone values by default, right? It's kind of the thing we have agreed upon that we give value to. So obviously everyone values it. And then honesty, right? I feel like my point was to find my honest place or to find my voice, blah, blah, blah. That kind of shit, right? And I feel like I don't know, I feel like I have overshared, in fact, right? But it's still not enough, right? It's still not enough. People still don't give a fuck, which fair, right? It's like I'm complaining about it, but I don't think like I'm just complaining about it. Right? I simply notice that this is a thing. It bothers me, right? Because, for example, for Visa, right, he also, and he says it, right? He says that he spent fucking years tweeting to an audience of zero, right? Or whatever the fuck, right? He has his own story and his own version of history, right? But still, right? I can complain. Can I not complain about it? I can complain about it. Right? I am tired, right, of this. I'm tired of I guess I am tired of the work that I do not earning the respect and admiration of the people I respect and admire. That is, I guess, what I'm tired of. And am I complaining about it? Yes, the video is complaining about it. But do I think it's insane that has not happened? No, I think it is a pretty fair response to the shit that I make, right? I guess. But still, it bothers me and I complain about it. That is the situation and that is what infuriates me of my situation, I guess. Then, next thing, writing. I write a lot. That's the problem, right? I write a lot, but it's always in these, I guess, non-peer scenarios. For example, YouTube comments. I have found some small success with Visa, by the way. The beauty of it was that it was not planned or architected, right? The thing is that I was commenting on his videos the way I comment on, like, not everyone's videos, but the way I comment on videos in general that move me to write things, right? And I guess he was like the first person to move me into a bit closer of a peers relationship, right? Normally, when someone writes a YouTube comment on your channel, you're like, who gives a fuck, right? It's like, I guess that's my perceived response as someone who writes a lot of YouTube comments, right? It's like the 98% of people don't give a shit, right? Then 2% like maybe click the heart or whatever, which is a small gesture of appreciation, but like then some people reply, and then some people like Visa, like one person out of, I guess, I don't know, thousands, has been like, okay, this was interesting, let's do an experiment, right? So that was interesting. The problem was that it is not sustainable, right? It was just one experiment, one short experiment, like 1 year and a half ago or something, right? So obviously it can't sustain me. Then Twitter, similar, right? I have gotten some success on Twitter in the sense that I have gotten myself a couple of clients for video editing and all that, which is interesting, right? And sign of something. But it is also not sustainable, right? I can't pay rent on being found like that. And to me, the beauty of it all, right? The beauty was that it was not planned or architected from the beginning, right? If I set out, I know that I could set out to chase people like that, right? I could force myself to write comments that I think are good. But the problem is that those are not good comments, right? Those are not the good comments. The good comments are the ones that come from videos that I wanted to watch, I watched, I liked, and inspired me to write. That's the problem, right? Same with Twitter, right? The problem with Twitter is that I could fucking spam under every one person that I think I sense a certain sense of respect or admiration. Hey, can I, blah, 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 blah. Hey, can I, blah, 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 blah. But I don't like that hassle, right? It's not that I don't think I'm capable of it or whatever. It's that I think it's not beautiful, right? I don't think it's beautiful. I don't think it makes the world a better place to be like that. I don't know. That's my thinking, I guess. Yo, I'm back. What did I miss? Lol. Hey, hello. I don't know. Right now I'm just ranting about stuff. These past days, I guess you missed me failing at the music challenge that happened. I was playing some music or whatever before, but I think coincidentally, like when you stopped showing up, I stopped playing music. I don't know, a couple of days after, not right at the same day, but like a couple of days after, I don't know, I just lost the motivation to play music. And yeah, that combined with my sleep schedule or whatever, or I don't know, maybe my room was messier than, I don't know, a combination of factors turned into me not completing the music challenge. So from the day 20 or something onwards, I didn't play music one single day. So I failed the March of Music challenge. That's one thing you missed. And then, I don't know, I can't think of anything else that you missed. I uploaded one video, but I don't know, like internally, for me, it has been relatively a big week, right? Because I talked with a friend, because my friend from Germany came here, and we every time he comes, we can hang out until late at night, and we have a conversation about life and all this, right? So yeah, in that sense, it's nice. But yeah, on the YouTube sense, I just streamed. I think most of my streams were just reading blogs, a couple of streams reading things, then a couple of streams, I guess, just interacting with people and all this. Damn. Yeah, maybe it comes back now. Lol. I was thinking of messaging you why something like going in circles twice in a row as a stream title. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to still go in circles all the time, right? Right now, I feel like I am still going in circles, right? I have said so many things that I don't know when I am repeating myself or when I am not repeating myself, I guess. And because I know the things that I don't say very much, right? I know the things that I hold dear to my heart, right? The things that I lock up. I know that very well, right? So the rest, I don't pay attention. I pay less attention to. I don't know. So there is more probability that I go in circles. So I put the go in circles title kind of preemptively, right? But yeah, I'm not sure if I will come back to music. I hope maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to finish the video. Fixes. okay, now an analysis. The analysis of my situation is kind of over. I don't want to analyze my situation further. Leave your suggestions, like your analysis of my situation, in the comments. And also, now I would like to end the video with kind of a positive upward tone, right? Something like, but there is a solution, or something like, is there a solution, or something like that, right? Or something like, is it over? No, like, we are so back, that kind of thing. So, but I don't know, right? I don't know what to say, but I want to give that vibe, right? So it's like, I don't know, but you can leave the solution in the comments. And yeah. In the meantime, I am going to keep navigating aimlessly as I have been doing. Is that a problem? I don't know. Maybe should I think of something towards what I could aim, like tying it back to the video about towardsness and awareness, right? Probably I should find some towardsness on something, right? But I don't know. It's harder. I don't know. It's hard. That's it. You can watch maybe that video. Watch that video about towardsness if you want to know what towardsness means, and then like compare the two videos and be like, okay, what didn't you say this thing in this video which contradicts what you are saying here? Maybe. I don't know. Goodbye. Okay, I finished that video. I'm now going. I have others, right? So maybe I will record other videos. I want to play more too, but now I'll start work in a week, so I won't have much time. I also won't earn any money for it since it's for uni, so I just have less time. Fuck. I saw this tweet the other day. Gergely always has nice tweets. If you are going into this technology industry, you should follow him. Gergely Olost. I don't know, this tweet is not a solution-based tweet, right? This tweet is basically a I'm angry tweet. But, yeah. It's like one of my hires back at Uber Amsterdam was a dev from another country. Already had an intern offer elsewhere. Why did you apply here? Oh, yeah, because he used to be like hiring manager of Uber, right? So he knows a lot about the tech market here in Europe and in the world in general, because Uber is like one of the top companies, like as in salary, right? So it's like, why did you apply here to Uber? And it's like, because this other company offered 500 euros per month. Renting a room plus a meal at the blah, 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 costs 1,000 euros per month. I don't have the money to take the offer, right? So it's like, this dude was so fucking... It's not that he was desperate for a job or whatever. It's like, this fucking internship that they are offering me pays me 500. How can I fucking live on that, right? I need to apply Uber. And he chose Uber. Let's like, nice nice on the other hand, because it's fucking Uber. But yeah, see, Uber paid a new grad salary plus housing. It was 3,700 per month plus 1,000 per month housing. 4,700 fucking bucks, right? It's like, that's fucking nice for a new grad salary, right? And yeah, then he goes about like on how this guy was good, and he observes that he gets like good retention with those salaries. Like, no fucking way, right? No fucking way when the other companies are treating you like a piece of shit and you treat other people, like you treat your employees well, like they are valued, no fucking way they stay, right? It's like the tech sector has figured something incredible out. And yeah, I tweeted something here. I don't know. I'm not sure what I tweeted. Yeah, something like, this is why I'm unemployed. If I'm going to live with my parents anyways, I'd rather look for something livable online instead of slaving away for 500 euros per month for some random ass company that clearly doesn't value my work, right? I think it's the injury, adding insult to injury, right? It's like, you are already injuring me, but it's so insulting that I don't want to. I'd rather just have the injury of not having money, right? I'd rather just have the injury of not having money trying to fucking edit videos for random ass fucking people online that intern at some place for 500 euros per month, right? That's the issue. If I'm going to do both at the same time, fuck it. Let's at least do the one that does not make me feel like I'm a worthless piece of crap externally, right? Let me just feel like a worthless piece of crap internally. That's, I guess. I don't even use Twitter, lol. I don't really use social media. Then subscribe to his thing, to the free tier, I guess. This pragmatic engineer thing. It's kind of a newsletter. The number one technology newsletter on Substack. I don't know. I didn't know that it was the number one. But yeah, I guess it's a good subletter. He has like these. He has blog posts. If you look up, I guess I should read this one. This, let's see, popular articles. Yeah, this one. The most popular one is a banger article, right? It's like the trimodal nature of software engineering studies in the Netherlands and Europe. It was an interesting and a very revealing article for me, right? It's like, to me, it was kind of like, whoa, the world works this way. Like, what? I was like, wait, so there are people who have it better than others in ways that job postings don't reflect that? Interesting subject. Okay, video 1 done. Now, I have 30 minutes left. I had 4 ideas. I think I'm going to leave the engineering jobs with accommodation to another day, but your intervention was useful because I forgot that this tweet mentioned the accommodation part, right? So tomorrow I will probably do that. And tomorrow. And I had another thing planned. Today I was going to do this. I was going to do Twitter skills. My skills. Tweet my skills. Again, going in circles, but this time in Twitter instead of on YouTube. Right? Okay, now I had 2 things, right? One is about the video that I made. Hashtag talking, thinking about respect. And the other one is reached a point where all of my problems are social, right? Let's say all of my problems are social. All of my problems are social. I feel like that's a good title, right? Well, maybe not. But in my brain, it's a good title. And basically, I don't know. I don't know what I want to say about it, right? Like these 2 sentences pretty much sum it up pretty well. I've reached a point where all of my problems are social, right? Can't solve real problems because the extent to which I want to solve them is social, right? For example, example. Example. Cars, right? The car thing from above mentions it, right? It's like I don't want to buy particular car X or Y, so I have the lack of kind of in a way, right? But I don't know. This is when I start going in circles. But okay, the thesis of the argument is that it's not that I want to buy car X or car Y, right? I'm not super struggling within me because I don't have a Lamborghini, right? Or because I don't have a Clio Sport. I would like to get a Clio Sport, and that's probably the car I would get if I had a reasonable amount of money, right? But it's not like I'm dying out here, right? The problem is that the Clio Sport is not going to make me happy, right? Just having the Clio Sport is not going to make me happy. I know that, right? The thing that would make me happy in my head, I guess, is like this sense of peerdom, right? Having a sense of peerdom, having relationship, blah, blah, blah. All those things, right? So it's like the bottleneck of everything is social, right? What's the bottleneck of me having a job that I like, right? A job that I like. That's the thing that I like. It's like, what is the bottleneck for that? So it's probably social, right? Being in a place where you are valued is a social thing. Okay, job. Social thing. Is it maybe a skill issue in the type of I am not skilled enough? Probably as well, right? But how do you learn skills? The best way, social, right? I don't know. Then relationships, obviously social, right? That is probably the most social problem of all. Romance, whatever. The most social problem of all. And I will leave it at that. Then, I don't know, like my relationships with people, like with my parents or whatever, right? Relationships in general, like, let's put our relationship thing. Okay, romance is a relationship. Boom. Then, I don't know, parents. Well, family. Let's put family in general. Family. Let's keep it. Ooh. Then, friends. Then, for example, other goals, right? For other goals, right? For life goals. It's like my car museum goal. Car museum goal. It's like partly money, right? Partly money, which connects to the social thing above, right? Connects to the social thing above. Social thing above. Or market value, which has a high social component, right? High social component. Then, what other goals do I have? My YouTube goals or whatever, right? YouTube goals, for example. I have this traveling videos goal, right? Traveling thing goal. Travel where? Where there are people right there. Social problem. Then, licenses, blah, blah, blah. Independence, right? So that is kind of money plus relationships below, right? And now we go to relationships, right? Family, social problem. Friends, social problem. Romance, the most social fucking problem of all, right? And I don't know, then it's like for every real problem that I think, I always find some fucking social bottleneck. Bane, hi. Hello. How's it going? Where are you from? And what car do you drive? I'm going to start recording a video, by the way. This is like the script of a video, and I'm going to actually record it now. Oh. I'm waiting until the views counter goes down or until... ¿Cómo vas? Voy bien. ¿De dónde eres? España. LATAM. What time is it in LATAM? Ahora en Buenos Aires. Mañana de martes. Probably Spain then. Okay. I am going to record the video. All of my problems are social. Okay, I know the title sounds maybe a little bit absurd, but that is kind of the conclusion and the mindset that I have, I don't know, this past year, maybe, I don't know. Not sure when I started to think like this, but I found this sentence in my brain and I had to somehow make it into a video or something. And yeah, I think I've reached the point where all of my problems are social, right? I can't solve like real problems, like the problems that are not social, right? For example, a math equation or an engineering problem of some kind, of some real object, even though those, like if it gets big enough, it starts also being social. But many of those, right, because I find that the extent to which I want to solve real problems ends up like getting the social barrier too soon, right? For example, first example that I thought of, job. Well, I'm going to hide these small ones. Job, social thing, right? Job is like the most social thing, I guess, right? And the best way to get a job is always through some kind of social network, right? It's like, okay, oh, your dad knows that person and blah, blah, blah. Boom. You have a job. It's like that's how most people have jobs, I guess, right? Or applying on like LinkedIn or whatever the fuck, right? But that's like the worst version of it, right? The good version is like, oh, you know someone who knows someone, blah, blah, blah. Right? References are always a thing, right? Do you have references, right? That's social, right? So it's like it always comes down to social things. And then it's like sometimes it is a skill issue, right? Maybe, right? It's like, yeah, for some jobs, for some roles, it's like it is actually a skill issue, right? If you are not a good software engineer, blah, 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 you cannot be a software engineer. Actually, you probably can if you have good social abilities, but if you don't, it's still not over. But what's the best way to learn skills? Socially, right? Software engineering may be a different thing, right? But the problem is that the extent to which I want to solve problems, for example, software engineering problems, usually gets bottlenecked by social reality, right? For example, I don't want to make a notes app for myself, right? They already exist. Like the notes app already exists, right? There are already notes app out there. Why the fuck would I want to make the 78,000th notes app? They are already there, right? To learn, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get it. But if you learn better when you're building shit for other people who need it, right? Social, again. Then, next thing that I wanted to complain about in this case, life goals, right? I have 2 life goals that are, I don't know, that I have articulated, I guess, publicly. 1, my car museum goal, right? Having a car museum is, I guess, a monetary goal in a sense, right? But what is money, right? It connects to the social thing about, right? Job. You can't have money if you don't have a job or if you don't have market value. Market value is actually just a proxy to talk about social things in reality, right? In reality, there is such thing as the market, but like we all know, not really, right? We all know that in reality, the market is not such a thing and that it's basically people knowing each other, right? And doing deals between each other like covertly, because that is basically how shit works, right? There is some free market component, blah, 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 but in the end, it's like, if you know the right people, you can get to money quicker, right? That's basically the whole thing, the whole point about networking, blah, 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 right? Then another thing, another goals. YouTube. I have some YouTube goals, right? Or things that I want to aim at, I guess. But one of them, traveling, right? I want to make videos about the list of places that I have. Okay, control sitios. This is the list of places that I have, and it's pretty long. It's like 8,000 words. You can see down there. But okay, where the fuck? Okay, I'm going to check one thing because I may have to record this again. Okay, not really acceptable. Okay, cuando me ajuste. What was the last word that I said? Oh, the places goal. Okay, yeah, so those are the places that I want to go, long list. The problem is that I always miss, like, there are a couple of places that are not explicitly listed because the thing that I miss is like someone, right? It's a social place, right? It's a social problem. It's someone who knows more about that reality than me, than the one I could discover just by going, right? That is kind of how my travel is motivated in my mind, right? Then I have like another goal of making videos about licenses, me getting licenses of shit, right? That sounds pretty not social, right? The problem is that I need independence, right? And independence is related to money, aka social when you tie it back to the job part above, or to the relationships part below, right? Independence is also like a thing that comes with having relationships that are independent or whatever, right? And yeah, in relationships here, I typed family, friends, romance, whatever. And yeah, for example, family, that is what I tied to the independence part, right? I don't know. It's a longer problem that I want to articulate in this 10-minute video or 7-minute video, but still, there are like it is like there are social problems within the family, obviously, right? And especially when it relates to independence and all that, right? Trust, blah blah blah. Then friends, also there I feel like there are like it's a social problem, right? I don't feel like it's a big problem or whatever, but there are like social things that stop you from doing certain things and that prevent you from doing others, blah blah blah, right? The classic, what would your friends think about that? What would your friends think about this? Blah blah blah, right? Same with the family thing, right? What would your family think about that? What would your family think about that? Those things are social problems, right? And then romance or whatever, it's like the most social problem of all. I'm not going to say a lot more about that, but that in that case, I would classify it as a problem. But yeah, basically for every problem that I think, every real problem that I think, right? For example, getting a license is a real problem. Traveling to a place, it's a real logistical problem, right? I always kind of find the fucking social bottleneck in every other fucking place, right? Jobs. Getting a software engineering job. It's like, that seems, okay, you just have to learn software engineering, blah, 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 right? It's like, okay, that turns out that it's much better to learn software engineering in community where you have blah, 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 right? What community? Social problem. Everything is a fucking social problem. And so, to this video, sorry, I don't have any solutions or whatever. I'm just complaining here. Sorry, bye. Good thing you remember, because I didn't. Lol. Yeah, that's the problem with pausing recording. But yeah. Okay, now I'm going to try to record this last video. I may cut because this video, like as it's here, it talks about my dad, right? So I should have made this the first one actually, but. Can you see the video? Yes, this one. Oh, I made a video about Kung Fu Panda. Whoa, it has 100 views. But the retention is probably worse in this one than in this one. I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking about respect. I wrote this note down before, like, right? I was, I think, doing yoga or something. And I felt the need to write the note, right? On my phone, actually. On the Google Keep app. Let's check the hour. Maybe it was yesterday? No, it was today. This morning, I'm pretty sure. No, it was at 2 o'clock. It was like while I was eating. Like between the first dish and the second dish. I'm not sure why, but I thought of it. Yeah, because in this video, there's a buzzing in the background. Is it still? Maybe you hit a cable or something. It's over now, right? I think it's when I put my phone here, it starts buzzing or something. Maybe I just hit it. I don't know. It could be. By taking like the fucking... Oops. Okay, the video. Yeah, in this video I mentioned something. It was basically that I woke up to my dad like screaming or whatever at him, and he was like basically saying that he doesn't like people, right? And here I want to compare something or to relate some things to that, right? For example, I don't feel like I am respected in my house, right? In a sense, I do, right? But in another sense, I don't. I don't know, it's hard to explain, right? I sense that I respect what my parents do or whatever, right? It's like I don't care, in a sense, and they care in a bad way, right? It's like, that's kind of it's a vibe thing, right? It's not an expressed thing, it's a vibe thing, right? Let's put that here, right? Talking about vibes. Okay, I'm going to make this video in a lower tone of voice, like this. I think I'm going to make it in this tone of voice. I'm tired of screaming. I'm tired of screaming. I'm going to switch to this tone of voice. Hope it's still listenable. I'm checking the levels, and the levels are actually decent, so maybe I was screaming too loud before. I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm going to record this video, and whatever comes out, comes out. And if I have to re-record it tomorrow, I will re-record it. Yes, so in this video, I want to think about respect, right? And the frame is going to be talking a lot about vibes, right? So don't take everything that I say here with a grain of salt, like take everything with a grain of salt, sorry, and don't take it super literally or like, I don't know. It's more like how my brain has evolved to be more than an actual measure of my reality, right? But yeah, I have this link of this video here, right? It's this video, using towardness versus awareness to talk about my feelings. And in this video, I talked about an anecdote, right? Which was basically me waking up to screaming, and my dad was screaming something like, I don't want to meet people or whatever, right? That he hates people, essentially. The thing is, it boiled down, I don't remember the actual words, it boiled down to, I hate everyone. And except, like, you three, like, my close family, my, like, wife, 2 kids, right? which is something that I have, like, it's not something that felt super rare to notice because I knew, like, it's something I know, right? I know already, right? I didn't know, but that kind of confirmed it because of the way he acts, right? And the way he relates with people and the way he doesn't have basically friends and all that, right? And that led me thinking about respect, right? And I was kind of thinking on the way kind of I respect my dad versus he respects me. Kind of this difference and the way I perceived this difference, right? Again, this is about vibes, right? It's not about what he actually does, right? It's about how I perceived the things that he does. And for example, I feel like maybe I respect him too much, but then I was like, do I respect him in an unwanted way? In a way that he wouldn't want to? And my point is that no. Like, it's like I respect the boundaries that he himself created, right? He has been this person who hates people, right? And I respect it, right? I don't intrude when he doesn't blah blah, right? This kind of thing, right? I don't bother him in his space when he's in his zone or whatever. I don't bother. I used, when I was smaller, like his room used to have a door, right? So I would kind of be super wary crossing the door of his office, right? He also worked at home, so it's like you can't bother your parents when they are working, right? If they work in an office, but if they work at home, it's like they are already there. So stronger boundaries are needed, right? So, and I always kind of honored them, I think, right? So it was not like I was disrespecting boundaries that should not have been honored. No, I was respecting boundaries well, I think, right? I feel like I gave respect. And the problem is that I feel like I don't get it reciprocated back, right? I feel like I don't know, I feel like I don't get that luxury, right? That independence, that whatever, right? I think this is what the next video that I actually recorded before, this video of all of my problems are social, I mentioned relationships, family, independence, right? That is kind of what I allude to in that video, right? In that video, I allude to this kind of sense of independence. And that is, I feel, what I am not granted, right? I don't mean it in a monetary sense or whatever, right? It's like, obviously, when you are 26, you don't need your fucking parents to be paying for everything that you do, right? But I feel like the vibe, that is what it's like, that's why I want to talk in a vibes sense, right? Because if I talk in a real sense, it's like, obviously, in a real way, my situation is like not bad or whatever the fuck, right? It's just that in my mind, it is, right? It's like, obviously, my mom is always telling me to get a job, blah, 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 right? I don't know. I don't know. That's basically it. That's what I wanted to, I guess, rant about. I also, like, these are kind of some vibes, but I don't know. I also, analyzing the situation calmly and coolly, I do think that I do get my privacy, right? I get privacy. My parents are not the type of parent who kind of rush into your room and don't actually respect your space. Like, they actually respect my space quite well, right? There are some exceptions, but in general, they respect it pretty well. They don't intrude in what I do. For example, I don't think they watch my YouTube channel, right? Which is good, because if they did, I couldn't make these things, right? Well, maybe I could, but I probably wouldn't, right? That kind of thing, right? But I don't know, it's a vibe thing, right? Because, for example, aren't there some kids who like would love their parents to watch their videos, right? Why am I not like that, right? Like, there are reasons for this, right? I don't know. These are kind of things that I think about. I don't know. I feel like it is kind of a sense of why do you have normal expectations for a weird situation that you created, right? It's like, no, you should expect shit to be weird, right? You should think like, okay, this actually makes sense given the thing, right? I don't know. It is kind of that sense, right? It's like, why do you have expectations for normal? It's like, because I don't consider that the expectations are weird, right? I consider the expectations normal, but I think the situation was weird, right? It's like, so why expect something normal out of it instead of expecting something strange, right? You should expect the strangeness, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there is kind of this Anna Karenina principle or something, right? I don't know. That's what I have to say for this video. Leave me your blah blah blah. Okay, you can watch the video. If you haven't watched it, you can watch this video. I will link it out now at the end. Bye. Okay. Decent day, I guess. Decent recording day. I've recorded a lot of shit, I guess. My throat hurts a little bit. I think I'm going to close the stream now and drink some water. Maybe walk a little bit. Thank you for being here. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to set some goals for tomorrow so I don't feel depressed. Tomorrow, like late at night, I will have. Okay, I will do the tweet my skills thing, and I will look for engineering jobs. Or, because let's talk a little bit about what I want to accomplish with this accommodation thing, right? I want to get a job. Well, I don't actually want to, but I would be open to the idea of getting a job. See you again. Okay, get better. And the thing is that I know that I would like the job for it to have accommodation, right? So some ideas. I don't know why. It's like because I want at least for the job to take care of the accommodation for me, right? I don't know. I feel like it would be a nice gesture of them to do. Read the SIA when you actually costume. Okay. I thought one of thing was cruises, right? Non-eng. Okay, let's start with here. Non-eng. Because if you don't think of engineering, there are a lot of things. Well, not a lot, but there are some options that I can think about. For example, if you work at a cruise, you get a room, right? So it's like you get your accommodation paid for. Okay, you don't have to pay for accommodation. Same with some kind of this kind of industry, right? Hotel industry type shit, right? Hotel industry type shit, some of them come with accommodation. Then, some farming jobs, it's like there are this kind of farming job in Australia, for example. Farming job in Australia. I think that this is a thing that happens, right? That there are kind of farms in Australia that will hire people to do farming shit and they will provide accommodation. And they apparently pay a lot, like when you bring it back to here. I don't know. I heard those things, right? And I think here there are also like options like that. But I wanted to look for engineering ones, right? I wanted to look for engineering jobs that are like this. Or at least kind of a skill level above, I guess, right? And I guess in cruises there are different skill sets, right? But I don't feel like my profile is suited for cruises in any way. Maybe mechanical engineering is somewhat related to some cruise positions, but it's not naval engineering or whatever, right? So I feel like I don't have my cards stacked for me, I guess. And yeah, that's basically what I think I want to do tomorrow, and then tweet my skills. I have already made a YouTube video on the skills. I have tried to make a website, but because making the website was hard, I want to start by tweeting. And I think I want to start tweeting that tomorrow. I think it will tie together with the engineering jobs, right? Maybe I can tweet some skills around this. I don't know. Okay, now, see ya. Now I am closing stream. Thank you for being here, and bye-bye.